So we have our first letter here, and right, so let's get into it. Dear sisters, I'm a 38-year-old chartered accountant who lives in Accra. I've been beating myself about an issue and I need your advice on it. 3 years ago, I took my wife from the hands of her parents. They were helpful, lovely, and ensured that we had a great wedding. After I settled in with my wife, I didn't know how to relate with my in-laws. From the beginning, I used to call them, especially my father-in-law. After exchanging greetings, there was nothing else to say. Our phone conversation didn't go beyond 1 minute. It was awkward, so I stopped calling. Each day, I hear my wife talking to them, laughing and gisting. But I haven't spoken to them for over 2 years. I mean, calling them myself to say hi? In these 3 years of marriage, we have visited them twice. They were very welcoming. They didn't complain. They don't ask why I don't call them. But when I think of it, it's like I've taken their daughter away from them and don't mind them again. I'm not cordial with my wife's siblings either. I don't know where they are and what they're doing either. I feel I'm not having a good relationship with my wife because they don't matter to me. My wife thinks my behavior doesn't speak well of me as a son-in-law and a brother-in-law. Is it normal? How do you relate to your in-laws once the marriage ceremony is over? I think about it and I feel I'm not doing something well. But nobody's complaining. Is that the same everywhere? Or I'm the one who doesn't have a good character? Sisters, help this young man. Yeah, it's nice that he's considerate. Yeah, I think it's cute.
I don't think that, the fact that he's feeling bad about it shows that he's not a bad person.
Yeah, exactly.
It almost feels like he's helpless, like he tried, but he doesn't know what to do. He tried, it was awkward. So it's like, since nobody's complaining, let me just let it fly, But you see, it's not helping because, the day that you say I do, marriage is about bringing two families together. And the reason why it's very important to be cordial with everybody, because you've inherited your wife's family. Love me, love my dog. So once you've inherited it, you need to at least make a conscious effort. Know that it's not going to be great initially, just like every relationship. I don't think what you're feeling is peculiar to just in-laws. It's peculiar to any other relationship. Such as I can meet somebody for the first time and we will gist and we will both like we've known each other forever. And then sometimes I meet somebody and it's like, hello, hi. And then it's like, okay, so what do I say next? And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. So it's not peculiar. I just want you to know that it's not abnormal. But the thing is that if you don't make an intentional effort to bridge the gap, you will wake up one day and it will be impossible for you to quickly bridge the gap, because what's happening is you're going to end up having children. Your wife's siblings are also going to be having children. You need to be able to make the relationship. You need to make the relationship gel a little bit so that when they're visiting, they won't say, don't go to Ikea's house because Ikea's husband is funny. So why let all the kids come and let's just meet at grandma and grandpa's place because of husband mensa of a husband. But you
just said that he's trying,
Yes, but in terms of trying, the thing is, how are you trying? So you call on the phone and it's awkward. So what you can do is visit. Now you say that you haven't visited them in a long time, and for me,
twice in 3 years.
Twice in 3 years.
3 years. There's no way any relationship can be bridged with that enormity of space. When I'm saying that bridge the gap, I'm not saying that go and sleep in their bed or go and be like by force, but it takes little things. At least today, maybe the conversation was 3 seconds. The aim is to make it move from 3 seconds to like 10 seconds.
So he says the conversation with the dad is usually like about a minute.
So the thing is, you go to your wife, ask your wife, tell me more about your father.
Absolutely.
What does he like? What does he not like? What kind of things does he like to play golf? Does he like football? Does he like hats? Does he like kotoko? Like, what are the interesting topics to talk about? So next time on your next visit, maybe you can buy her dad her favorite drink and say, okay, Dad, today, you know, I want to spend some time with you. How is your day going? Let's talk about hats. Let's talk about kotoko. But don't go imposing. Just test the vibes. You need to be emotionally intelligent about some of these things and take it one day at a time. But don't leave too much space. By all means, make an effort.
Right. So, Amma, would you say it's more easier for women to have relationship with their in-laws compared to men?
Chai.
More easy, I don't know. Maybe I think a woman, maybe in her education, I don't know, she's the one who has to be the more likable, or how do you say this in English?
Yeah, likable person.
Yeah, she has to be the more cottonish, you know, caramelish, always trying to, you know, go into with the flow and be nice, etc. But personally, I think that, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy because, just like you said, I think it's a vibration thing. Yeah, and that man, of course, yes, he should maybe see what his father-in-law likes. Maybe the lady can talk to him more about him, and you know, you can try, but sometimes even though you try, you see that it's closed. You know how it is, and you're like, oh, okay, I go here, it's closed. I go there, it's closed. You know, the third time, me too, I'm gonna stay in my thingy. You know how it is, because he's a human being. He has emotions also. Maybe for him to be a man and to have tried, I think it's amazing. You know, for him, because I think he really have tried, but he has seen that, you know, the door is always closed, and it's not easy. But I think it's a good thing for him to question himself, like, how does it work? Because I feel this guy is a well-intentioned guy, because he is willing to do, you know, more that he's doing now, so that things get better. You see, because I think even the siblings of the woman, apparently, they're close, eh? Yeah, so there's something going on there. What? I don't know. But even if the brother and sisters also are close, what is going on?
Right. So,
Sister.
So, what are your thoughts? Do you think that maybe the father-in-law is a bit hard?
See, like Olivia rightly said, some of these things you can't really force them. And I personally don't see anything wrong with keeping your distance. Honestly, so long as you're not abusing the woman, you've called, once in a while you try to reach out and check out on them. It's not like you have completely abandoned them and you're not doing anything at all. I honestly don't see anything wrong with it, so I don't have much to say. All I'll say is, I mean, put in a little bit more extra effort, like Olivia said. Make an attempt to visit with your wife and ask about him in terms of what he likes and all that. Make a conscious effort to talk to the person face to face. Have a chill approach to it, so that maybe if they are thinking you are a stuck-up person, they can also be relaxed around you. But then also, there's a bit of an onus lying on the parents. That's the in-laws, to also embrace, because if it's your own child, you are trying to welcome this person into your home and wanting to give them the impression that you are part of our family now. We embrace you. And as the older folks, there's a bit of an onus lying on them to also give the man that warm embrace into that space. And I feel like he's not that welcoming. Because if I call someone, hey, good afternoon, I just wanted to check up on you. They say, oh, thank you, hope all is well. Yes.
That's it.
It would be a bit awkward, you know. You could ask, oh, how is their home?
Sorry to cut you. My husband has got an auntie here. When you call, say, hello, how are you? The auntie takes us, oh, so hello. We said hello. Oh, I'm fine, thank you. And then the auntie answers, so I'm fine, thank you. And then you don't know what else to say. It's like,
if a person who is interested in talking or having conversations, hey, how are the kids? How is life? How is work? You know, how is work? Older folks have a way of, if they want to stay on the phone long with you, they have things they would ask you. So once they are not asking you that, it's a bit weird. And personally, even there are people in my family that I probably speak to once in a year or once in 2 years.
Yeah.
Because that's just me. If we are
Right.
not vibing, I don't like to pretend with
Absolutely.
Because it's too much work for me.
Yeah.
I find it daunting. So I probably am able to relate to him with what he's saying. If you are not feeling the vibe, you can't force
don't
it. Some
go
of us
for
are
it.
just naturally like that.
Yeah.
Alright.
So if he's like that, there isn't much he can do really.
Yeah.
He should just be okay in himself that it is what it is. There is no animosity.
Just
If the time presents itself for us to have conversations, like maybe it's a
Christmas.
lunch
Easter.
or Easter or whatever, by all means go for it and be nice and warm. Go extra mile to be nicer on occasions like that and leave it. Don't go and force relationships.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when people force relationships, you can smell it.
Yes.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
So he should just, be easy
The
on
smell
himself.
is weird.
Or maybe stress too
Yeah.
much. There's nothing wrong with you. I have relatives that I don't. I
know,
can't
right?
relate
Yeah,
to.
me too.
Right, but at the end of the day, I am beginning to feel like his problem is not just about how he feels. Like, okay, I talk to them once in a while, or I don't know what to say to them. But I think his main problem right now is his wife. His wife saying that.
But the wife, there's a job on her.
Yes.
To say,
The wife is saying you're not being a good brother-in-law or
Yeah.
son-in-law.
I think it's not helping. The wife
let's
also is not
analyze this
helping.
thing critically. If I'm married to, let's say, your brother, and we weren't on this show, I'm some random girl somewhere, your brother meets and marries me.
Yeah.
Aside from if we meet in a one space and we are having conversations and we are probably asking, oh, I've seen you on TV, I'm also an actor, and we are talking about those things.
Yeah.
What is there for us to talk about?
I don't even call his girlfriends.
You see, let's be very
No,
honest
for
with
real, it's
ourselves.
true, yeah.
What's
For
there
real.
to talk about? We are not friends. We are sister-in-laws at that point. There isn't really anything to talk about. When situations present itself, you are cordial. Let's say, for example, I want my kids or I want your kids to come over for vacation. I can easily call you. It's not like we are at loggerheads.
No.
I can easily call you and say, hey, how are you? How's the family? I was thinking that the kids could come over for the Easter holidays. Is that okay with you? I hope you don't mind. I promise I'll treat them well. Something like that, and you leave it.
Yeah.
I feel like we are calling each other every day.
Every day.
No,
Yeah.
not every.
You know? So some of these things, and the woman too, if that's the kind of relationship she wants her husband to have with her family, she should also involve the family.
The family.
That's what I wanted to
Create
say.
that space where they can
Yeah.
actually communicate.
Because now she's, stressing
You can't
the
just
man
stress the
also.
man. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think personally, she has to play this main role
Yeah.
also now that she saw this situation
Yeah.
right here.
Actually,
She's like,
I prefer
okay,
men like him.
no,
men
she
like him.
can like
Don't come and
play this
fraternize with
role
everybody in
and
my
be like,
family.
okay,
Yeah.
Shushu, you know what? Let me take your hand, okay, and let me show you a little bit. Let's
Yeah.
go together
Yeah.
and let's do this together. And I think it's going to be better because now she feels her husband is a little bit, lost in the nature, Now for her also putting that type of stress, that's not good for her. That's not good too.
It's so true because it reminds me when my husband and I started dating each other, what he'll do is that he'll take me home, introduce me to his mom, we'll chit chat, grandma, chit chat, and you introduce me to, you will just randomly drive, introduce me to auntie this, sit and chat, and it was his way of sort of gradually warming me up to them and warming them up to me. So it makes me wonder, when they were courting, how was the relationship like before they said I
got
do?
married.
And how come it that all of a sudden she has woken up in the middle of the marriage and she's like, yo, Jude, you better do something about your attitude. Didn't you see anything wrong with it from day one? So now you've got the guy who's helplessly now wondering, hey, is there something wrong with me? But sweetheart, I also want you to know that like everybody is saying, you can't force relationships. Just take it slow. You know, don't expect that, immediately, yes, we're advising you, like immediately you get up and just like that, you'll be best friends with your father-in-law.
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
So don't be too hard on yourself. Make the effort, but don't force it too much so that it looks
If there is
Absolutely.
anything at all, I find it strange that the father-in-law is not embracing him into the fold.
Yes,
Because
yes.
in-laws are like
It's a job.
like, hey, my son.
Family.
Let's have a drink, or let's go for a
That's
walk.
what- yeah,
Tell me
yeah,
about you, your
yeah,
family.
yeah.
Like, it's the older folks who want to make sure you are comfortable when you are around us. The older folks. So once you are calling them and trying to have conversations and it ends up after 3 minutes, there's nothing else to say. they don't want to have conversations with him.
Yeah.
So
And the
technically
siblings
it's
also. So
Yes, yeah.
But technically, it's his wife's problem, not necessarily his. And I feel like his wife is not doing a good job, sort of doing a good PR job for her husband, because what looks bad on her husband will look bad on her either way. Because there was my.
So it's been 3 years of marriage.
It's been 3 years of marriage. Definitely topsy-turvy. No marriage is like clear cut and dry. But at the end of the day, you should be able to say, because the way the girl is sounding, it's almost like her family is really tight.
Yeah.
So because her family is really tight, that's why I keep saying that it lies on her to be able to help the guy get acclimatized with the family. Because something happen, she should be able, like family should be able to, even the brother should be able to, hey, Charlie, boy, Charlie, yo, my sister complains, say, Charlie, you know they do this and that, Charlie, what they happen?
The truth is, I feel like there are some very strange families out there. I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
And I've seen some very close to me too, that they are all, enclosed.
Yeah.
They don't like, it's not that they don't like people, but that's how they were
you can
all
see,
raised. Mother and father are weird.
Newcomers
Kids will definitely be weird.
Like,
Do you understand? So I feel like probably that's one of the families that he's into, or that he married from, because right now it seems like the father is not open, the kids are not open. It's just their behavior.
Yeah. It's just who
I
they
think
are.
it's just who
perhaps.
they are.
Yeah.
They are not extroverts. Maybe they are very closeted
They're not
people.
complaining.
Exactly. And
I don't understand why she's complaining if that's how they are.
Another thing too is sometimes they may not necessarily be like that, but you know how sometimes you meet people, you don't necessarily dislike them, but you also, they are not your cup of tea. You're not really vibing with them. You are just indifferent about them.
Yeah.
You don't find them interesting to want to have long conversations with. However, you need to be cordial with them because of the role they play in your life. And if it is like that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with it. But so long as they know you are a good person and they know you are not going to kill their child, so long as she's in your home, I don't see anything wrong with it, honestly. I think this is a no problem.
You know, like how they have one-liners for men when they go to pubs and they want to chat a lady up, and then you go like, oh, I like your shoes. Where do you get your shoes for? I like your toenails or something. I think that you should probably do a bit of Google research to find out how to break my in-laws' front and come up with something interesting.
Dad, I like your beard. Dad, I like your white beard.
Frankly, if I was a guy, I wouldn't bother.
No,
but sometimes we need to call a spade a spade.
It's okay for this man. I think the thing is, I would have said to him, it's okay. You have done what you had to do. It's not working. It's okay. It can be not okay. But the thing is, this lady, his wife, is putting pressure on him. That's what is, how do you say this? It's troubling
yeah, that's
him.
what's troubling him.
Voila. See, no, normally, frankly, for me, let me tell you something. Sometimes it's even better to say far. You have your earpiece.
Yes.
Communicate.
I think we're all on the same page right now. So, sisters, let's take a quick breather and we'll come back. All right.